guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel.
Hi everybody.
Sophia here with Hector. We are going to talk a little bit different this time. Instead of doing like, talks about ourselves or talks about niche markets, we're actually going to talk about questions, the top 15 questions for real estate.
The top 15 questions, as NAR had put it together, National Association of Realtors, that buyers do not know, and I can't believe these are it because they're pretty elementary.
Yeah, you would think, but like I said, like we were talking about before, there is no class in like college or high school that teaches you this kind of stuff. You know,
Right.
How to get a mortgage, how to buy a house, how to balance checkbooks. I get it.
How to build your credit.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm still learning. But this is one
Because
of
classes weren't taught. Really,
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
So we're here to answer those what seem like elementary type questions to get you guys as much information as you can in these YouTube videos.
Quick question talking about elementary school. Do you know how to write cursive?
I do.
So when did that? It probably ended right after you.
Actually, I don't think so, because my son, he's in 3rd grade right now, and he still does cursive, but it's not the way I was taught. So
It's because he went to a good school, okay?
yeah,
All
he
right.
goes to a very good school. So
all right, well, we're gonna fire this one off.
hit me.
What's the first thing you do what's the first step of a home buying process?
Getting pre-qualified.
Of course.
That's step number 1. Always go to a lender, bring your bank statements, bring your pay stub, past 2 months of bank statements, 2 months of pay stubs, 2 years of tax returns, and then any kind of other savings accounts. You may have 401ks, you know, pension, whatever you have. We just need all the records to see what kind of income you guys have to get pre-qualified for a loan.
And then we call a gal I know named Raina Hafliger.
Yes, that's my mom.
Yes.
She is our lender here, and it's important for 2 reasons. 1, it gives us the base to find out what you can afford, so what we can go out looking for, because you might be in love with a $500,000 house, but your budget's $300,000. But then also, it determines not just what the big picture, what you can afford, but we can break down to see your monthly mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's another, people say, okay, I want a $400,000 house, but they don't realize that it's probably a $2,300 payment a month, and they can't afford that. So we can break it down and find out what you guys can afford, so we can look for those things.
And you're about right. People ask me, how much is that payment? And it's like $700 and something every 100 grand you borrow. Fully amortized.
Yeah.
Fully amortized, okay?
Yeah.
So
I'm just throwing numbers.
I always times it by 7, I get a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
All right, how long does it take to buy a house?
Well, I mean, so once you're in escrow, 30 to 45 days, I would say, but the whole process,
Like our clients still got to go to work, they still have kids, there's
yeah,
soccer.
you have to find a house, you
It
got
may
to fall
take
in love
weeks.
with the house, you have to put multiple offers out there. It's very rare that you're going to put an offer on the house that you love and get the first house you like.
Rancho's a seller's market. We're going to talk about that right now.
Yep.
So what is a seller's market?
So sellers markets
There's
are,
more buyers.
it's like the supply versus demand. So it's when there's more buyers than there are listings. I'm just trying to get the words out.
Right.
So there are not a lot of listings, but there are a lot of buyers. So these sellers can ramp up the prices because they have a lot of people biting at their house.
Right. Now, I mean, luckily appraisal will shut down the madness.
Yeah,
It doesn't
of
go
course.
too crazy, but yeah, here in Rancho Cucamonga as well as in Upland, every time we have a listing, we have more buyers, and we have multiple offers, and there's more buyers than there are sellers. So we talked about that, and what's a buyer's market? That's of course when there's
Exactly.
more listings, and so I talked about I told you there's a buyer's market right now. Right now, there's a buyer's market for you. Where you can go, they'll pay most of your closing costs. They're happy to have you, and that'll be mountain communities like Forest Falls,
Yeah.
like Crestline, like
Those properties
Wrightwood.
are like months on end that they're listed for.
Right.
So they're really,
And
taking the buyers
normally
they can
they're
get.
second homes for lots of folks who are listing them. So if they have it listed, they probably need the money or they need to liquidate somehow or another. So you can get a really good discount in a buyer's market.
But that's also, for me, like a pet peeve question. Because people always ask me, is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market right now? That really depends on where you're looking, like you just said. If you're in the mountain communities, then
Sure.
It's a buyer's market. If you are in San Antonio Heights, it's probably a seller's market. No one wants to really leave.
And there's not a lot of frequent listings
exactly.
there. Yeah.
So it just depends. It's both for everything.
And that came up with the third term is what's a stratified market.
That's my favorite when it comes to forward investors. So a lot of time, let's say you have a forward investor that wants to buy the California Hollywood dream kind of house. They want to be they want to be either centralized in the city or very much the coast. That's usually where foreign investors want to be.
Okay.
They are more interested in buying the $1 million homes than they are buying like the $750,000, $800,000 homes. So they'll spend more money on the big homes, the big expensive homes, rather than, even if it's the same size.
And why? It says here in parentheses, they want to be closer to the city,
exactly,
more centralized.
Because they want to have,
go for less.
Exactly, they want to have that Hollywood dream. They want to have the city or the coast.
Right, you'll pay more for less, which is why there's a big, huge price difference between, let's say, Burbank and the downtown area.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how much? I'll answer this one. How much do you need for down payment? VA loans are as little as zero. There are some FHA loans that are as little as zeros with it's like down payment assistance programs that'll help you with that. Minimum's 3.5%, 5.5% for conventional. And then, of course, the more you put down, the better you are. Our parents back in the day, they had to put down 20 and 30% down just to be considered for a home loan. Those times have changed, but they did well by doing so because they paid off their home faster than our generation.
Yeah,
so
if you can pay 20% down, do it. There's no reason you shouldn't do it.
You're going to save, like, on a typical $500,000 mortgage, you're going to save like $500 a month.
Oh, you're going to save a lot.
Yeah.
You're not paying any mortgage insurance or private mortgage insurance.
That 700 number that I gave you, your buying ability is now changed to like 490 every 100 grand you borrow.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like 30%.
Yep.
I hate you, MI. Hate you. All right. So that's mortgage insurance that I hate. How much money do you have to pay an agent to help me buy a house?
Everything. All your income, your car, you got to sell it. You got to just give everything to your buyer's agent. No, you don't pay anything to your buyer's agent. A cup of coffee would be nice, a thank you, an understanding that we as buyer's agent are going out there to show you dozens of homes sometimes, and you're not paying us.
These guys are working for free. Hopefully you guys have created a great relationship. Hopefully he's asking good questions to you so that he's able to find out what makes you ooh and ah and what makes you ick. And those are the questions he's got. He's got a little bit of a mind reader. He's a little bit of a communicator. But yeah, it's hard to be a buyer's agent.
It is. And you know what's funny is
that people love it.
You really have to love being a buyer's agent. I actually really do love being a buyer's agent because I love to show houses. I love to get to know what people want. But the buyers don't pay the buyer's agent. The buyer's agent gets paid off of the selling side. So the person selling the home, they will have a commission agreement with their listing agent, which is like whatever, 6% or something. That 6% gets split between the listing agent and the buyer's agent. So the buyer's agent makes money off of the listing side. Does that make sense? But the buyers don't pay the buyer's agent. So, and you're going to spend a lot of time with this person. They're doing their best, and just be understanding. You have people who come with laundry lists of items. Your buyer's agent's going to do their best to try to accommodate, but
And we probably would have answered this question, the very first one, when you're in your pre-qual. What kind of credit score do you need? This one's saying FICOs of 620 is acceptable. I've even seen as low as
580.
580. But here's the deal. Try to get your FICO score as high as possible because it directly reflects upon your interest, right? You're like punished for trying to get better, but nonetheless, that's the deal. So if you get into the FICO game, ask your loan officer, what do I need to pay off? What do I need to continue revolving in order for my FICO score to move up? Where you can ask for a rapid rescore or something like that to get that up. And
don't be afraid because you think that your FICO might be too low to come in and get pre-qualified. Come in and get pre-qualified because the lender will then tell you after seeing everything your best next step. They'll say, you know what, don't worry about paying this as much right now, focus on putting big chunks towards this debt, and that'll help you. So come get pre-qualified the moment you have an interest in possibly buying.
All right, should I sell my home before finding another?
Do you need to?
That's a good question to ask. And if you need the equity from your current sale, then my go-to is, if we need the equity for the sale, let's concentrate on that sale. Once we get an escrow with a buyer, we'll let the buyer know that it's contingent upon us falling in love elsewhere.
Yeah.
I'd rather have him wait for us, and he's going to wait. Remember, it took him 30. Now, here's the waiting game.
Yeah.
It took him 30 to 40 days to get into that escrow. then we've got to go fall in love. Because we got to work and all that. We may take us 30 to 40 days. Then we go into escrow. 3 or 4 months may have passed by.
Yeah.
But we've done that. We did most recently here at Remax Elegance, we did a 4. You remember Covina had to become Upland, had to become Poway had to become like
it's just like
West
a dominoes
Covina.
effect.
It was gnarly, but we got through it.
And like, also you have to keep, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here and be the buyer. I understand. When I have that notion in my head that I wanna move, I already start looking at houses. And then I fall in love with houses that I find, and then chances are, I put an offer on this house, but I haven't even sold my house over here and I can't sell it in time. It's gonna drop, I'm gonna lose it. You feel discouraged, you feel deflated. Don't let that happen. Focus on selling your house first and then closing concurrently with the next home to purchase your next home.
And use two words that need to be closing concurrently and contingent.
Yeah.
Because contingent means if I don't find the other house, I can't sell you mine.
Yes.
But when I do find my replacement property, we're all going to close together.
And that's what concurrent means. Concurrent means that we're gonna, mine's gonna close the same time that this time's gonna close. Right. It's gonna close together so that it's a transition, so that no one's sitting on the streets waiting for a house.
Here's one that we're gonna wrap it up. I think with this one. The other one's kind of, but happens all the time. We're writing up an offer, and let's say it's a $500,000 deal. We're doing an FHA, 3.5% down, so $17,500 is our down payment. And then our client puts down $5,000 in earnest money. Okay. So the question is what is earnest money? And earnest money basically is a deposit placed to hold the house while we're in escrow.
The way I refer to earnest money is my ante. It's my money to get in the game.
Okay, your ante, like a poker reference.
Like a poker reference. Okay. It's my money to get in the game.
I looked at you and said, your tia? Your ante?
My tia? No.
Your
it's my money to get in the game. You're not going to open up escrow until you put earnest money.
Right. I'm not going to put, and us as sellers, we're not going to put our life on hold.
Exactly.
If you're not going to pony up at least 1 or 2%, that's what they say, 1 or 2% of the sales price. That's why I mentioned on a $500,000 deal, $5,000 down. It applies toward
the down payment.
Or the closing costs. So it just applies, okay?
So it's not like an additional $5,000 plus the down payment plus the closing costs.
It totally can be.
I mean,
it could be the additional $5 because if he didn't get any closing costs out of it. Now, closing costs are typically a little under 3% of the entire transaction. So if he's at $17,500 on his down payment, he's probably at least 13 to 15 grand on his closing costs because he's got MI to pay for. He's got prepaid taxes. So what were we saying about closing costs?
Closing costs are negotiable.
Right. So
when you look at the fact that it could be $13,000 worth of closing costs on a $500,000 house, the sellers can help with that sometimes.
And especially if you're in a buyer's market.
Especially if you're in the mountains. The sellers will help you with the closing costs.
Totally. And these last two are no-brainers, but I can't believe they come up. Should I have a home inspection?
Yes.
Get
a home inspection.
You're going to make the biggest purchase, sales price purchase of your life for some people. For some people. And you're not going to spend $500 to check it out?
And that's why people don't do it. Is because
I don't want to spend when I buy a used car.
Just get a home inspection. You don't understand how many things you can find wrong with the property. Yes, a property when you walk in can be spotless, can look perfect. But then a home inspector will go up in the roof, he'll go under the house if it's lifted foundation, he'll look for all the things that you probably never would have thought of.
Sure.
And it's just worth it. It's just worth it.
And now everything doesn't have to get fixed. It doesn't have to it's just so you're disclosed what am I looking at. Now 9 times out of 10, me as your agent, and I'm going to tell the other, due to health and safety codes come up, we're going to call it out. This is going to hurt somebody. We're going to trip wires. We're going to call it out.
And some lenders will, for certain loans, will require home inspections.
So under FHA, the appraiser for the past 10 years has become a little mini home inspector.
A little mini one.
Yeah, just a little mini one. And he calls stuff out. He thinks he's cool doing that all the time. But most of them are health and safety codes. The rest of them were not cool. Anyways.
No, throw it. I like to throw it. There you go.
The rest of them were not cool, Mr. Appraiser. You know who you are. All right. And the final one is should have a final walkthrough. Like 5 days before you close, you should show back up, make sure the place is not trashed.
Especially if you ask for repairs. So if you got a request for repairs and you got it approved, then yes, go back and see if those repairs were done.
Right. Now, can we pull the deal if you did the repairs?
No.
No. You're not gonna hold up everyone's life because a faucet
It's dripping.
Now, are you on the final walkthrough? You're gonna say you didn't fix the? Is he still liable for it? Yeah.
Yes.
Is that nothing's changed? But you can't hold back the channel, and I've seen that all too many times too. But, oh, we're not doing that until this.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's been a good on the block, okay?
It's actually been a really good on the block. We're gonna have another one again, of course, next week. But please, you guys, go like, subscribe, comment down below, share it everywhere. If you
University
have any
Days next Wednesday. University Days next Wednesday, the 19th.
The 19th,
Yeah.
so it's a week from today. But this will probably air.
No, it's not. It's the 20th. Because today's not the 19th, not the 13th.
No, today's the 12th. So by the time this is posted, it'll be the 13th.
7, 8, 9.
So,
All right.
anyways, if you guys have any questions, like I said, please comment below. Let us know. It was so great to talk to you guys again. Thank you from on the
Thank you
vlog.
guys.
Bye.